Right, meanwhile, if you talk about the nuts and bolts here in America, everyone says it's affordability. When you talk about elections, when you talk about things that matter, it's affordability, not the Epstein files, not all this other stuff on the side. It's affordability. And one thing that the president has in common with the mayor-elect of New York is they both are talking about affordability, and that's their focus. Where they differ is how to make things affordable. One is tax the rich. The other is grow the economy. But I was just amazed how well they got along. In case you missed it, watch.
We talked about some things in very strong common, like housing and getting housing built, and food and prices, and the price of oil is coming way down. Anything I do is going to be good for New York. If I could get prices down, that's good for New York. And we got them down, way down from last year. We have... As you know, I've been saying to a lot of people, Walmart said that Thanksgiving this year is exactly 25% less than last year. So that's good for New York, good for everybody.
And when we spoke to those voters who voted for President Trump, we heard them speak about cost of living. We focus on that same cost of living, and that's where I am really looking forward to delivering for New Yorkers in partnership with the president on the affordability agenda.
They're clearly concerned about the same issue, of course, diametrically opposed when it comes to how they want to address this. So it'll be very interesting to see how they go forward. But I thought it was interesting that Zohran Mamdani does acknowledge the fact that obviously President Trump, this is a city whose skyline President Trump has helped build. And
he's vilified him in the past, since he's the problem. We want to stop Trump from growing.
Viciously vilified him. But they seem to, but Mamdani believes that they've found a common ground because they both love New York.
I was looking forward to having the meeting with the president to speak about the needs of the 8.5 million people who call the same city we love home, and to speak, frankly, about the affordability crisis that is pushing so many of them out of those 5 boroughs. And I found in the meeting that I had with the president a productive one, and a meeting that came back again and again to the central themes of the campaign that we ran: the cost of housing, cost of childcare, the cost of groceries, the cost of utilities. And it showed that this is an opportunity to now start to deliver so that people can do more than just aspire to struggle in New York City, but actually to be able to live there.
And he said he still believes Donald Trump is a fascist. Donald Trump, during the election, called him a 100% communist lunatic. And Mamdani said they were not shy about talking about their disagreements.
Yeah. $8 billion, right now, this is what he's inheriting. $8 billion deficit from Eric Adams. He wants free buses, $1 billion. Free childcare, $6 billion. Housing plans, tens of billions of dollars, freezing rent and doing all these other things. So even if he gets his tax increases, nothing's affordable. And when you tax people, you don't grow the economy. But I guess he's got to find out for himself.
And, of course, Mamdani is inheriting a city and all the problems from a long line of Democrats and Democrat policies. But, of course, Mamdani and socialists are not the only ones who have been addressing this issue of affordability. President Trump has been talking about it. And, of course, the late Charlie Kirk was one of the most visible and eloquent people talking about this issue and talking about the importance of getting younger people purchased into the economy so that they start to value the importance of not only America, but also free markets. This is what he said on Fox and Friends back in July.
How do we get more young people under the age of 35 to have equity in the system?
Yes.
Not the Democrat version of equity where they want to have redistribution, but actually, are they paying a mortgage? Do they own stuff? Or are they permanent renters? A permanent renting class in this country is the prerequisite, is the leading ingredient for radical politics that nobody wants to see. We need to reinvigorate the ownership economy. And then all of a sudden, when you own stuff, you're less likely to burn down a Wendy's and vote for candidates like Zohran Mamdani.
And thank God there are still miles and miles of video of Charlie Kirk saying these things, because there was no greater, more clarion voice than his on it.
So right now, the majority of the American people say costs of goods are up. 85% say groceries are up. 78% utilities are up. 67% say healthcare is up. And 66% say housing is up. So even if the prices are marginally down, people aren't feeling it. The other thing is 77% say the president should focus more on the economy. What I think the president has to do is explain to people that all these trade deals, all these international visits are about the economy. This is all about bringing money in. It's not to get another Trump Tower. So the trade deals, things are coming back, manufacturing coming back. And I think what the Secretary of Treasury was saying over the weekend is get ready for a big 2026. Because the minute you sign the deal, it doesn't mean you start building the factories. And I think so. A lot of these energy factories with these AI companies are really going to start going in soon.
Yeah, we mentioned that President Trump called him a communist. Well, Mamdani was calling him a fascist. He was asked about that. Watch this exchange.
I want to clarify your answer to Stephen Nelson. He asked about your comment calling the president a fascist, and your answer was, both President Trump and I have been clear about our positions and our views. Are you affirming that you think President Trump is a fascist?
I've spoken about.
That's okay. You can just say yes. Okay. It's easier. It's easier than explaining it.
Just to be very clear, do you think that President Trump is a fascist?
And after President Trump said that, I said yes. And
So you do?
And that's something that I've said in the past. I say it today. And I think what I appreciated about the conversation that I had with the president was that we were not shy about the places of disagreement about the politics that has brought us to this moment. And we also wanted to focus on what it could look like to deliver on a shared analysis of an affordability crisis for New Yorkers.
He didn't say yes, that Trump's a fascist. But it would have been interesting if Donald Trump gave him a chance to answer that question. He was trying to save him there for a second.
Yeah.
Why would he meet with a fascist? He goes, yes, of course I believe Donald Trump's. Why would he meet with? He doesn't believe he's a fascist. He acts like a tough guy to his socialist friends. But we'll see, because the president, you know what he did yesterday? Said, I'm going to hold off on putting in ICE, additional ICE, Border Patrol, and FBI into New York City, like he did in San Francisco. He's like, show me you can round people up. Problem is, he loves the sanctuary city policy, doesn't want to round up anyone, and he's not going to give ICE access to Rikers. Soon that's going to become apparent, and the president's going to have to make
several things. They do both love the city, like you said, Charlie. And I think that if they can work together and maybe come to some common ground, maybe Donald Trump can use some of his policies to help sway Mamdani. But this is what Donald Trump likes to do. He likes to meet with the people that he doesn't necessarily agree with to try to come to some common ground. I did like that he said, just don't lie. Just go ahead and call me what you're going to call me.
Yeah.
Say, if that's what you think about me, just say it. You can say it.
I've been called worse than a despot.
Yeah.
Right. But the only thing I think the president's big picture is, I'm going to elevate the socialist wing of this party. I'm going to tell them how great they are. You know what the cause is? People like Hakeem Jeffries, Senator Schumer, Senator Gillibrand go, wait a second. We're trying to control that wing of the party. The president just elevated it and said, hey, you two fight it out. I'll watch. So I think it helps him in the midterms.
And you know who's not?
I'm Steve Ducey.
I'm Brian Kilmeade.
And I'm Ainsley Earhart. And click here to subscribe to the Fox News YouTube page to catch our hottest interviews and most compelling analysis.